Gary, a win in the Women's League Cup tonight. What's your initial reflections after that game?
Look, it's good, especially after all the changes we made, eight changes, and for some girls returning back from injury and haven't played for a while. So, you know, and the hard thing is you get one day to be together and to sort of implement the ideas. We've still got Michelle and Nikita, they're still learning everything that we sort of done beforehand. So with the tricky schedule, we're just using the time as we can with a later kickoff today, feeding again a lot of information to them and some having to play a little bit maybe out of position. So tried a couple of things tonight and I think, you know, pleasing performance overall.
Birmingham made it quite difficult for us in the first half and the early stages of the second half, but as soon as we got that opening goal it sort of felt like a sort of an exhale, a bit of a breather for the girls. What do you think the challenges were leading up to that point that we couldn't break through?
Probably just our speed. We're probably lacking a little bit of penetration as well, so maybe and a bit of patience in the front third. So we knew that they looked dangerous on the counter and they sat in a good block. They worked really, really hard to make it very, very tough. So we just spoke about a couple of things, fix it up, and then one of the goals was from that. So, you know, credit to the girls. Tough opponent, tough trip as well. Midweek, short turnaround, but you know, overall 90 minutes was a good performance.
And like you said, 8 changes to the squad. How pleased were you with, you know, their approach coming onto the game, and some of them making their first starts, and also the subs coming on and making an impact too? Yeah,
really, really good. So it's all tough to ask from. You know, not a long preparation. It's a tough trip, four and a bit hours. It's also coming back from the weekend's game, so we left later in the evening after dinner from Brighton to get here, and then it's a longer day. The anticipation builds, especially for the ones, you know, getting their first start. So, you know, it's a mixture of all those things. So when you would take time, we controlled the game very, very well, probably from start to finish. A few things, but it's a good learning curve for us when we face opposition that, you know, want to be waiting for those transition moments, and then how do we pin them in, and how do we then work against that low block.
It's been a challenging week probably in terms of logistically, from Manchester at the weekend and back to Birmingham and now heading back to Brighton as well. It's the nature of the game and it's testing for the girls as athletes, but how do you guys deal with that as coaching and technical staff to support them?
Look, we speak to everyone and try to get them, you know, as well recovered and freshened up. So we took on some advice to maybe rest a couple of girls or look after them. But, you know, at the back of our mind, we wanted to have a good start in the cup as well, to get a good result, to challenge as well, to try win a trophy. So trying to find that balance, and you know, it was tough to travel all the way to Manchester, come back, and then the following day to again travel all the way to Birmingham. So we spent those 2 trips probably about close to 15 hours in a bus over the last 3 days, and now we've got 4 hours to get back as well. But you know, that's what it is. So we can't look for excuses. So we spoke about that, prepared the best we can. You know, tried to get them to do all the right things, and it's going to be more of the same to get us ready for Saturday and another tough opponent.
3 goals and a different variety as well, 3 different goal scorers. Does that just show the level of depth you had within the squad, that you're not relying all on one player as such?
Yeah, that was a big factor, try to get people, and we've got a lot of goal scorers, people that are and trying to get them in those right positions. So Fran, excellent when she came on, and Maisie's free kick was spectacular, and also from set pieces, so something that we wanted to you know, get better at, also defending set pieces, but that we score more goals. So you know, it's all really pleasing that you know, the stuff that we're working on is starting to show on the pitch, and we're getting the rewards.
Do you think the win tonight will help build momentum heading into Saturday's game against Villa?
Yeah, it's a different sort of test. So both teams have played tonight. You know, we look forward to going back home and you know, getting our WSL back into the winners column. So you know, we know they're a very tough opponent, got a very good squad. But you know, we'll recover. We'll see what they do, and now, yeah, after conclusion of this game, we'll turn our full focus to Villa.
Maisie, a first win in the Women's League Cup. What's your reflections after the game tonight?
Really positive. Like, a lot of players who haven't, maybe there was a lot of rotations today. There was a lot of opportunity for a lot of players who haven't played many minutes yet in the league to get a game, and I thought we played really, really well. It was hard to break down in the first half. They sat off, which we didn't actually expect. We thought they'd come and press us, but we just had to keep at it, and you could see in the second half all the chances started to come and finally started going in.
Let's just talk about your goal, because that's your second goal for Albion and it's almost identical to your first. I mean, that was absolutely sensational. Just try and give us a bit of a breakdown analysis of that.
Well, I was stood over it with Mo, and I just thought Mo would whip it into the box, And I just said, no, I'm going to shoot. And she's like, okay, love that. And I just thought, I just hit it. And luckily it went in. I think the other one went the other post, this one went near post, but sometimes it gets a bit lucky and goes in.
Is that your signature goal now, would you say?
Yeah, I think I should be on free kicks for it to be my signature, but I don't know if I actually am.
And obviously, I think after the initial opening goal, it was almost like the group sort of had an exhale, because Birmingham made it really tough throughout the first half and into the second half especially.
They're a really good team, they're really well drilled, they defended really, really well. So it was hard to break them down, but it did feel like once we got that one goal, we was just sort of going at it, and it was going in a bit more freely after that.
And what were those challenges and blocks that sort of prevented us from getting the opening goal in the first half?
Well, we like to play through the middle. We like to sort of catch the team out or play out, but we couldn't open them up today because they were so solid defensively and moving like a block. So it was taking a while, and we was getting the chances, but we weren't getting clear-cut chances. And in the second half, it just started to fall a bit better. The runs were made with a bit more pace. Things just came off a little bit better in the second half.
It's been an incredibly busy week. It's not over yet. Obviously Manchester last weekend, up in Birmingham midweek, and now we've got Villa at home. It's the nature of the game and it's testing, but how do you guys as athletes prepare to bring your best selves onto that pitch?
Well, we just have to do everything we can. We knew it was a tough week coming up with the travel and everything. I think we got back from Manchester and the next day we was going straight up to Birmingham, so it's really tough. These weeks are really testing. But to be honest, it does bring you really close as a team. It gets a lot of bonding time, a lot of time on the coach, chatting rubbish. But yeah, we'll get through it, and we know we've got a massive game to prepare for Saturday now, so we're back in tomorrow and we'll start preparing for that.